Hi everyone, welcome to another video. As you can probably tell, I already put on my foundation and my concealer. Just as a quick rundown, I did use the MAC primer, and then I finally decided that I really wanted to go ahead and start using this. This has been sitting downstairs in my clean bin for a really long time. I am using the new ESPOIR Pro Tailor Be Glow foundation, new class. I think that this version of the Be Glow foundation has actually been out for quite a while now, so this is by no means new, but I finally did go ahead and get my hands on it. I got it in the shade 20 Vanilla. I do find that ESPOIR's foundations tend to run a little bit lighter than some other brands, so 20 is fine for me. Usually other brands I have to go with 17, but ESPOIR does run kind of light, so if you are usually 21, then I would say you can stick with 21 or maybe go down to 22. And then I used my usual triple concealer. I did already put on my eyebrows, and then I did finally find my eye primers. I finally found where I put them. It was literally just like the most obscure location I could have thought to put eye primers. So I used the Suku eye primer already. I've given that several minutes to sit. And lastly, I did also finally bring up my under eye primers, and so I used that today, and oh my goodness, my concealer went on so nicely. I remember now why I love these so much, and I'm very upset that I still cannot find an appropriate dupe for these, but that's what I used. I'm in no way advocating for the use of these, by the way, because as I learned from Lab Muffin Beauty, the sheer amount of shea butter in these means that these are pretty much guaranteed to separate really quickly, which makes them look absolutely disgusting. However, as far as I can tell, it doesn't mean they've gone off, it just means that the formula is super unstable. So I actually have kind of a science project in mind I want to do with these. I'm thinking of depotting these into some kind of jar, and I'm going to reheat them and remix them, and hopefully that will help it stabilize a little bit. I have ideas. And then lastly, before I get this very long video started, I did not get lip filler, although I do love the shape of my lips right now. I actually am talking to my doctor about asking if I can get put on an antiviral prescription for cold sores, because literally not even a week after my cold sores up on my nose and in my nostrils healed, I already have another breakout, and it's actually right underneath. It's right in that section. So right now I have like Jisoo upper lip kind of moment going on here because the cold sore blisters are right there. Like if I were to get lip filler, I would actually ask for them to give me a little bit more of a V shape. Now I have it because of the cold sores. Admittedly, I think it's really cute and I like it, but it is very painful. So my lips are honestly pretty cute. Like, the shape looks good. I kind of wish my lips looked like that forever. I bought stuff on Ulta and I realized I have a lot of fruit makeup now, and I don't mean fruit colors. I mean, I literally have makeup where the product names are named after fruits. I don't know, it sounded good in my head, okay? So I will very quickly go over all the products I'm going to use today. I think it'll be really fun. It'll be just kind of dumb. So the first thing I totally forgot to use, so I'll have to use this in a second video, but this was what started the idea, was me realizing that I have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. So this apparently was super limited, sold out really fast, and apparently people have been demanding that it come back, so e.l.f. made it come back, and I was like, okay, I really need to see what all the fuss is about, because it sounds honestly pretty interesting. Like, it sounds pretty up my alley. So I did buy it, but I forgot to use it. I used my MAC one instead, so I'll have to use this in a second video. So this was the first thing I got, but I'm sorry that I forgot to use it. Wow. I feel really dumb now. I was so excited to use this and I forgot. Okay, but anyways, and then the next thing that I got, which is the bigger part of the haul, of course, was the new NATASHA DENONA Valentine's collection. I did get the My Dream mini collection. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but it is on the list. But so this is coming first. But this is the other thing I got with the e.l.f. thing. So I got 3 pink products from Ulta. The other thing that I got was the new DEDE'S signature Plum Perfection quad. I also have the pumpkin spice one too, but that, I don't think pumpkin's a fruit. Okay, so in terms of strictly technical classification, a pumpkin is a fruit. So I could have used the pumpkin spice quad and that also would have been a fruit, but it would not have matched with the berry cheek thing like at all. But yes, pumpkin's a fruit. I know strawberry ain't fruit, but I have the strawberry Rococo palettes from Flower Nose that I can pull in. So I think between all of that we should be set. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with 03 Blackcurrant Cold Brew. Last I checked, this is sold out on the global website, which is a bummer because I know none of their collections are ever technically permanent. So I'm just gonna use this to start off the look, and I'm just gonna keep things easy today, I think. because I do really want the focus of the look to be on my blush. But instead of using the shimmer shade in here, I'll use the shimmers in the Plum quad. So apologies to those who are hoping to see the Plum quad in use today. Although now that I think about it, maybe I'll introduce just like a hint of the purple. Like, I won't use it to full saturation, so it's not like you'll get to see it in like total action, but maybe if I just use like a little bit of it as like a pop of color, it may be okay. I'm thinking about it right now as I put on this eyeshadow. My work is moving facilities, so I'm gonna be basically on a month-long break while they move. If it wasn't for the fact that my house, I'm currently having to like clean my house and my cats caught ringworm from the fosters, I would have helped them take some of the cats into foster, but unfortunately I just don't have time, and my house is still, technically speaking, my house needs to still be cleaned, and obviously like my plate is completely full, so I wasn't able to help, which I felt really bad. But I am kind of looking forward to having the break because I won't have to go into work for the early mornings anymore, which I'm just, these days especially, waking up early is just not good for me. It just leaves me feeling so dead for the rest of the day. So I'm wondering what my productivity levels are going to be like, or how motivated I'll feel to do things. Like, I'm hoping I can use that chance to really film a lot and prepare for going to Johns Hopkins. I don't know if I'll be able to film while I'm there because, like, you know, I can't just bring my camera and my lights with me, and who knows how the lighting situation will be. Like, I don't know if I can rely on natural light in the place that I'll be, like, staying at. Because, like, my mom is coming with me and we need access to a kitchen, so we're just using, so I know it's, like, not obviously great to do, but we did have to use an Airbnb because, like, I'm not gonna like eat out or try and buy food for 2 weeks. It'll be much easier if we can cook. I'm thinking it may be easier for me to just film a lot so I have a lot to edit, but then that will be so boring and I will miss not being able to play with makeup while I'm there, so I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Okay, so I'm going to use Plum Perfection now. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of this purple here. This is going to be my first time trying DEDE'S signature. I've always wanted to try their stuff. Like, I've wanted to try the neutrals and the autumn and everything from them, but it just never, the energy has never come. I just like had other things to prioritize my makeup budget on, so I finally was able to place an order for just 2 quads, and the prices for the quads are honestly super fair, so I'm not complaining like at all. I thought it was a great chance for me to basically get an introduction to the brand. So as you can see, I'm not putting it on at full opacity. I just want to have a little like suggestion of the purple color, but I don't need it to be full on purple. So you can see it's just the tiniest little pop of color that I stuck on there. The way that I'm using this purple shade feels to me like something that is out of like a luxury quad, you know, with how subtle they can be. Forgot to peel off the mirror. Something different once in a while is fine. Do you see just how like subtle that is? I actually really like how it looks. I definitely would have used the pumpkin spice quad first if it wasn't for the fact that the NATASHA DENONA cheek trio is going to be a lot cooler and a lot more red. I do like how easy it is to blend. I'm going to use this here, which I hear that with DEDE'S signature, the majority of the praise I hear for them is mostly related to their shimmers. I've heard that their mattes are like, they work, but generally speaking the shimmers kind of outshine the mattes. So it picked up really pretty on the brush. I can see there's some thicker flakes in there, and it does seem to have more of a translucent base to it, so I'm very excited. I still didn't find my NYX glitter glue yet, so I'm just putting it right on top of my bare eyelid with just matte shadow laid down, so hopefully it doesn't fall out all over my face. Yeah, you can see it definitely has that translucent base, so it picks up really well on this dense synthetic brush. Ooh, it's so pretty. I do really like it. I feel like at this point in time, it's not necessarily the most unique shade, because like it's almost like it's funny because now I'm starting to see comments where people are like, OMG, I'm actually kind of getting sick and tired of indie palettes putting multi-chromes and shifty shades and everything because it's driving the prices up. I just want to see like regular non-shifting shadows again. Like, it's so funny to see the pendulum kind of swing back and forth between what people want. Admittedly, the price creep of indie eyeshadow palettes is definitely a conversation conversation worth having. Sometimes some of the price choices I see on like the makeup news release pages, I see the price and I'm like, that was a choice? That is a price? I don't know how I feel about it. So I can see completely why people are kind of starting to go back to wanting just like normal shadows because of the fact that the price, honestly, the pricing has gotten borderline out of control. But these were good though. These were not very expensive at all. And I used, I think, I used Bad to the Brows code. That is so pretty. I do really like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this shade here on my inner corner. If it ends up looking a little too green for my tastes, then I can always kind of cover it up with something else. Okay, I actually don't think this is going to work because it's a little bit dark. I don't think this is going to be what I want to go for today. However, I think I can actually stack something on top of this really well because this has that smooth gleam that I really like in an inner corner highlight. Even on the brush you can see that it is much more glittery and fine, so it has a much smoother shine. So I'm going to use this as the base because I do really like this smoothing effect that I'm getting. I do kind of want to have like something darker between this shimmer and here. I feel like I don't really have anything there. So let me see. Maybe I have like a fruit themed single that I can use. Oh, did I just nick it? No, I didn't, thank God. I'm gonna go ahead and use this closer to my lower lash line just so that there's something darker because right now it's just all light. This is a Glaminatrix single in HM4. This was from their hollow line. It's not that hollow though. In the realm of hollow shadows, it's definitely kind of one of the most underwhelming that I tried. I could barely see it. Honestly, the best hollow shadows on the market are from Glam Shop, but they've discontinued so many of them. But that's the best ones. The swatches from Bad to the Brows' most recent video made Touch of Glams look quite promising, but I heard there were so many issues with their formula stability and breaking and shipping that I haven't really had it in me to try them yet, but maybe I will, I'm not sure. I just have yet to see a brand do hollows as well as Glam Shop's. Okay, so you can see that it just added a little bit of depth closer to my lash line, so it's not super visible, but it just adds a little extra something. And sorry, this is not fruit themed at all. I just wanted to use something here, and I just happened to have this single sitting on my desk. Okay, and then I'm going to take that DD Signature Shimmer. I'm going to use this on my lower lash line just because it's so pretty. I want it everywhere. This brush is definitely a little bit too fat to use for this, but with so many of my brushes in the wash queue, I don't really have too many left to pick from, which I know I still need to wash my brushes. It'll happen someday. That is a beautiful lower lash line shade for me because I definitely prefer a sparkly lower lash line. I am going to use the Shadow Gallery palette, which I know I'm like totally ignoring the fruits again. But I'm going to use this just for the inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to use this shade here as my inner corner highlight. With me just doing like kind of random get ready with me's where I'm not really featuring any particular product. And with a lot of my makeup being put up right now, I've been getting a lot of use out of the Shadow Gallery. And I do like that, unlike a lot of other Korean palettes, it actually does go from very light to very dark, and it doesn't have like 10 light shades and 1 dark shade. It actually has a quite nice range. The other Shadow Gallery palettes that Cleo released after this one were honestly not as good. I feel like those color stories were also flat and light. This was the only one that was done in cooperation with Minsko. I feel like that had a lot to do with it. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit on the lower lash line here. Probably got some in my eye. This is why you should use a smaller brush for this. I'm usually not one for such subtle looks, but I think it is good to do occasionally. Okay, I'm gonna use this eyeliner in Alkaline from Urban Decay. I don't even know if this range is still available. Like, Urban Decay I feel like discontinued everything that was good. So who knows if this is even still technically available. I have no idea. I got this for half off a very long time ago. I totally need to sharpen this, but I haven't put my garbage can under my desk again yet, so I don't actually have a place to sharpen it into, so I'm just being lazy. And I think just a little bit out here will help too. Yeah, that's pretty. That kind of like, if I put eyeliner in my outer waterline, like right here, it kind of makes my eyes more upturned, and if I put it below my waterline, in a more Douyin style, then it makes my eyes look wider and longer. So it's fun that I can kind of tweak my eyes like that just by the subtle placement of my eyeliner. I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my mascara on off camera. I'll just do mascara today. My eye look is light enough that it should be fine with just some mascara, and I kind of just am trying to see if I can make my lashes as thick as possible with just mascara. Sometimes it's just fun to do that, so I'll be back. You'll see me in a few seconds. Okay, I put on the mascara. I these days am starting out with the Holika lash correcting mascara as my base, and then I stacked on top of it the MAC Stack mascara. However, I think this is probably at the end of its lifespan. I've definitely had this for quite a few months now, several months probably, and this has also started to dry up as well. I do have another one waiting in the wings that has the micro brush, so hopefully that'll be even easier for me to use. So you can see that my lashes are a little bit kind of dry and clumpy looking today, but I do really like the volume that MAC Stack gives me, which is why I still use it. I'm going to be using these cream blushes. So it says cream blush, tinted glow, cream base, and dream glow. I actually have not done too much research into how you're supposed to use this middle shade, so forgive me. For my cream blushes, I've discovered that now, because I used to really hate cream blushes, stick blushes, and liquid blushes, so I always stayed away from them. But then I discovered that I just do not like the application methods I was attempting them with, so ever since I started using a dense, soft, synthetic brush, I've been enjoying them a lot more. My favorite one for that is the BK Beauty one, but as of right now, it's in the wash. So I'm just going to use this one today. This is the Spectrum Pushing collection, which actually I was a little bit disappointed by. I felt like the brushes in this were not as high quality as Spectrum's usually are. I don't know, I feel like Spectrum is not as good as they used to be, but anyways, I'll just use this today. The cream blushes from NATASHA DENONA's palettes do tend to feel a little bit more on the dry side of things. I think I just picked up way too much, which I think is good lifespan wise because it means they won't dry out as easily. But just like FYI, if you're digging your brush in and you're like, whoa, it doesn't feel creamy, it feels like, you know, like powder. Yeah, it does kind of, which I definitely picked up way too much. So I'm just going to spread this across both cheeks, and then I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to switch to a clean brush because this is not okay. And I don't mind my blush being heavier, but that was a little bit excessive. I also find that when her cream blushes are a little bit on the drier side, I can use them on top of setting powder and it's like completely fine. So I actually really like it. When it comes to cream blushes and liquid blushes and stick blushes, I do not like the super ultra dewy ones, which is why when NARS released the Afterglow liquid blushes, I just completely ignored them. They do not exist in my mind because dewy blushes, I just read that as it's going to take off my foundation because I feel like they always take off my foundation. So I do also really like that NATASHA DENONA's cream blushes do tend to be a little bit more on the matte side. Right now in China, there's been and it's kind of leaking into Korea now with Fui releasing the lip and cheek muds. Cheek muds are definitely really trendy in China right now. Shall We Makeup just released 2 shades where it's like in a pot and you can use it on your cheeks or your lips, and it is ultra matte. Like that is so trendy right now, and I really want to get a few and try them. I'm thinking I might get the Fui ones, but I also do want to get some of the ones from China, so I'll see. But I really want to try them and show them off because they interest me so much, and I feel like they are going to I really hope that they catch on in the West. I feel like the name mud kind of puts some people off, but like that's just the word that they pick over there. Like the way that English words get used over there, it's not the same, okay? Like it's fine. So that was the cream blush. So you can see it's definitely on the heavier side, but I was able to blend it out really well. It looked like it was gonna be a disaster, I'll give you that, but it was fine. So I'm gonna take what's left on this brush and just apply a little bit more. Well, not like that, because I just created a spot. I was gonna try and just put a little bit more right up against my eyes where I like to put my blush, but that was a mess. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be careful this time, I promise. I just kind of want to stamp a little bit right up against my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna now take the Dream Glow highlighter. This does seem like it's gonna be more of a blush topper for me as opposed to being able to use on my nose, but we'll see. Crazier things have happened around here. Yeah, this is, I don't think I'll be able to get away with this on my nose, but it looks absolutely beautiful on the cheek. It is not as dark as I thought it would be. really pretty. And it matches well with the gold tones and the green tones in my DD Signature shimmer as well. I have had some like breakouts and troubles all over my face lately, probably just from the stress and the cold. I've started using retinol again and it helped it go away, but now I have like the angry zit on my forehead was from when I popped it. I put a pimple patch down, which is why it's not raised, but probably shouldn't have popped it. That is really pretty. I do really like that. So I didn't use the middle shade today because I did swatch it and that one does feel a little bit more emollient versus the cream product, but I'm just gonna leave that there. That is so nice. I'm gonna go back into, I'm gonna use my shadow gallery on my nose. I've been using this a lot lately as my nose highlighter, just because it's been on my desk and I just like how easy and convenient it is. My flower nose highlighters are all cleaned and put up right now, so I'm not using them right now. I would otherwise, you know, Revelation is like my favorite one. I do kind of want to put down just a little bit of like some kind of brightening setting powder like in the center of my face. I'm going to just use the powder from my Flower Nose Chocolate Contour Palette. Again, it's just kind of what's on my desk and is the easiest for me to access. So I'm just going to take this and press it into the center of my face. When it's winter time, I do prefer to wait until my makeup is almost done and I just kind of assess where I think I will need setting powder, so that way I can minimize how dry my skin gets. Because during the winter, I do have to be very careful about my setting powder, otherwise it is very easy for me to dry the heck out of my skin. During the summer is so humid in North Carolina that even if my skin is dry, I will still get a lot of oil and sweat on the topmost layer of my face, so I do have to be a lot more generous. But during the winter, I do kind of pull back. I do think I need like the tiniest bit of like contour bronzer out here. I feel like that would help. I don't have like a fruit themed bronzer, although that'd be cute. But I think it would be cute if for me to stick with something that's like edible themed, I guess. So I'm going to use my Too Faced Hot Chocolate bronzer. I got this because Teresa is Dead talked me into it. Not personally. I wish I knew her personally. She seems really nice and really cool. I feel like we would be friends. But she talked me into this and it was half off, so I got it for 19 bucks. So I can't complain. I actually really like it. My reaction to it was the exact same as her reaction to it. It's actually like, it's a little bit better than, it's better than it has any right being. And I do like that it is so light that I really can't over apply it either, so I feel like it's just very foolproof for me. And the little hot chocolate guy on the pan making the cute little happy face is pretty deeply embossed, so I can still see him. So I'm just going to use a little bit just on the outermost perimeters of my face. I just need a little bit of extra dimension. You see especially my jaw, when I put that down, it just really helps my jaw and my neck really melt into each other. Because this ESPOIR foundation is definitely a little bit light on me, but it matches my undertone really well. And then I just take a little bit under my nose, and that is, I really tried to learn how to contour my nose. Like I followed the pony tutorials, but it always just looked so muddy and messy. So what I like to do for nose contours, I literally just go like this with my bronzer or my contour, and that's it. It just makes my nose tip look more kind of up, but it barely does anything else. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is put on my lips. So earlier in the start of this video, just to hydrate my lips, I had put on the DECAY Fruity Lip Jam in 04, but today for the lip, I'm going to put on this Berry Pop lipstick. Otherwise I would have continued to use the Fruity Lip Jam because it's fruity. It's also fruit themed. Romand lip liner in the shade Dovey Pink. Yeah, honestly, I actually really like the way the cold sores make my lip look right now, because the extra shape underneath my Cupid's bow actually looks really nice. Have my lips permanently look like that without the cold sores, I would go for it. But I think my biggest sore point on my face, it's really just my lips. I don't like that my lip corners literally just point straight down to the ground. Like that's literally the only part about my lips that I hate, and if I could get one procedure to change one thing, it would be to get a corner lip lift. That's literally all I want. So that's why you see me do lip contour so often, where I kind of contour the corners of my mouth to make them look less downturned, because it not only does it make me look like I'm like super mad all the time, but it also makes my lips look really narrow and short this way. And if I contour it out, I can add some width. Okay, so this is the NATASHA DENONA lipstick in the shade Berry Pop. I have heard really good things about her lipstick formula. I've heard it is very creamy, it's, you know, more on the shiny side of things, and it's very, very comfortable. The I Need a Nude line I know was very well received, but I'm really not into traditional Western nude lipstick, so I've never gotten anything from her. I know she had a red lipstick as well, but I've got plenty of reds. I don't need any more reds, but this shade definitely caught my eye. I will say I'm gonna be very curious to see if it looks on my lips like it does in the promotional photos, because the picture that was in the promotional photos, that was what sold me. So, and when I apply really highly pigmented lipsticks like these, I don't generally like to swipe, especially if I have a lot of dead skin. I just kind of tap it until I get the pigmentation I want. And then I do like to fade it out. That's just kind of how I've always done things. I'm just going to use kind of the tip of the bullet to adjust the corners of my lips. So it is a little bit less saturated than the online marketing images. So it's not quite as intensely pink as I thought it would be, but it is not a completely different color. So I still like it. This is how everything is looking. I do think it is really, really pretty, and I had a lot of fun doing this. So this is a makeup look using mostly fruit products, like literally fruit products. I hope you guys enjoyed this simple little makeup look, more like a blush focused look as opposed to the eyes, which I know is not something I do super often. Usually my blush and my eyes are both pretty intense, but just a more blushy look today. I do want to test out the middle shade. I just didn't really have a reason to today. That's it. I have run out of things to say, so I'm going to stop here before I start looking really stupid. Let me know what you guys thought of this look. If you guys have any questions on any of the products in this video, of course you're welcome to ask, or anything else you want to leave in the comments. If you just want to help out with the algorithm and you don't know what to comment, comment fruit. And you can do that, and that'll help boost my channel visibility if you just leave a comment that says fruit. That's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and until then, take care. Bye-bye.